Hello, I hope that you're all well and that you had a very Merry Christmas. Ray and I, we had a really lovely Christmas. Christmas Eve is Ray's birthday. It was his 74th birthday and it was also our 29th wedding anniversary, and we had a lovely day. We walked the dogs, we had a lovely lunch, and in the evening we settled down to watch the Duchess of Cambridge's Christmas Carol concert, and it was very, very beautiful. We loved listening to the carols and the readings, and wasn't she impressive playing the piano? That takes a lot of courage to do that publicly. Christmas Day was sort of just really lovely. We ate far too much, but you know, that's part of Christmas. In the afternoon we settled down and we watched the Queen's speech, which I found was very, very moving, and you know, I had to use a few tissues, I'm afraid. God bless her, she's an amazing lady. So today is Boxing Day in the UK, December the 26th, and that is Hands Across the Sea Samplers' anniversary. It's the day that we started with our first release, Mary Ann Bourne's, and that was 6 years ago. It seems as if we've always been reproducing samplers, but at the same time, those 6 years have gone very, very quickly. Now, I have not added up the number of releases that we've had in those 6 years, but I think it must be well over 120 of them. We're only here today because of you and your support. If needleworkers didn't stitch our designs, you know, there would be no purpose to hats. So Sandra and I, we would like to thank all of you from the bottom of our hearts for your support of Hands Across the Sea Samplers. There's nothing like logging on to social media or opening your email box and seeing a start or a finish of a hats sampler. So, you know, again, thank you very, very much. Now, for those of you who have finished a hat sampler throughout 2021 and sent your finish to the special email address for competitions at hats, your name has been entered into a draw, and I'm shortly going to be making the draw live on this video. Now, first prize in the draw is the really lovely Mary Fowler. So one of you is shortly going to win this sampler. Now, I had every intention of reproducing Mary throughout this year, but I just didn't get round to it. So this is a sampler that has not been reproduced. But the second prize, which is Marion Horsburgh, has been reproduced. And here is the original Marion, and here's little Marion, the sampler that I stitched. I looked at Marion today when I got her back out of storage, and I feel that this frame is very tatty. So whoever wins this, I'm going to get this reframed the first week of the new year when my frame is reopened, so that when you receive it, it'll be in a really nice new frame. Okay, so there were 358 finishes emailed to me on the hats.competitions@gmail.com email address. Now, I know that there were many more finishes than that, but lots of people didn't send their finishes in to be entered into the competition, and that is a shame. But anyway, I've drawn up a list alphabetically of finishes, and each finish or person has been allocated a number, and earlier on today I posted that list with the numbers on the Hats Facebook page. So I'm just going to set up a random number generator on my phone, and I'm going to use Google. So let's put in 358. 3, 5, 8. So we have 1, 2, 358. And let's see who the first winner is. That is 152. So let's see who's won Mary Fowler. It is Kathy B. And Kathy B had 2 entries. No, she didn't. She had 3 entries, but it was her entry for Martha Dawson that is number 152. Congratulations, Kathy. Well deserved. Kathy in the year finished Harriet Goddard, Isabella Uffendell and Martha Dawson. Let's have a look and see now who the next winner is for Marion Horsburgh. So I'm just going to press this. And it is 267. So who is 267? It's Ronnie. Ronnie in Australia. Congratulations, Ronnie. It was your entry for Alice Williams. Ronnie had 2 entries this year, Lily Thursa Edwards and Alice Williams. Congratulations, Ronnie. If Kathy and Ronnie can email me with their addresses, their postal addresses, then I will get organised in shipping those samplers to them. We always have another little prize, which is a voucher for the person who completed the most finishes in the year. And for the 2nd year running, it is Stephanie. And Stephanie completed, I think it was 24, let me just check, 2, 4, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24 finishes. So Stephanie, there is a voucher for £24 coming your way to be spent on the Hands Across the Sea Samplers website. Now, we are going to run a 7th birthday draw. We appreciate everybody who stitches our designs and finishes them, and we think this is a nice little way of putting something back into the needlework world. So, for our 7th birthday draw, which will be on the 26th of December 2022. First prize is going to be this really gorgeous sampler. This is so pretty. Her name is Phoebe Suter, and the sampler was stitched in 1808. So it is quite an old sampler. It's in lovely condition. I'm just so sorry about the light today. I hope to reproduce this sampler throughout the year, but having said that, I've had this sampler for quite some time and I haven't reproduced her yet, but I do fully intend to. And then second prize is going to be Lily Thursa Edwards, and there's the original, and here is the little reproduction. So that's going to be second prize. But I can tell you that in 2022, we're going to be starting a very special year. In February, I turn 59, so in 2022, that is the build-up to my 60th birthday, and we've got some really special things planned for that. My husband is very kind and very generous, and he knows how much needlework means to me and how much fun I get from the needlework world and friendship as well. So we've got a couple of really special things planned for 2022 going into 2023, and I'll be posting about that later in the year. Okay, so what else have I got to talk about? Well, I've got lots to talk about. The first thing I wanted to share with you is our release for December the 26th. We try to release a special sampler on the 26th of December, and we had intended to to release a certain sampler. But when I showed my finish of the rose and the giant pear, I had so many emails and messages about this little sampler that we decided that we would release this sampler to celebrate our birthday today. So the rose and the giant pear is available now on our website as a PDF download and as a printed booklet, and the printed booklets should be with our distributors and available to needlework stores around the world. It's a really, really lovely sampler. If I keep on popping out with the rose and the giant peach, I do apologise, because I got the name for this sampler from James and the giant peach. And the giant peach occasionally pops out of my mouth, but it is the rose and the giant pear. I had so much fun stitching this sampler, and the colour palette is just so pretty. Here are the colours used for that sampler. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And the sampler itself was stitched on tabby cat linen, and the colour was creme brulee. So the booklet, here she is. The stitch count for the rose and the giant pear is 177 stitches by 65 stitches, and I love the shape of this sampler. It's a great shape for adding a little something extra to your sampler wall. If you stitched the sampler on 28 count linen, she would be 12.64 by 4.64. If you stitched her on 36 count linen, which is 18 count Ada, she would be 9.83 by 3.61. Or if you stitched her, say, on 46 count linen, she would be 7.7 inches by 2.83. I stitched her on 56 count linen, so my little model is 6.32 by 2.32. Dinky little size, really, really adorable. Now, the original sampler was stitched on 18 count Penelope canvas, so this sampler is very much smaller than the original sampler. She uses 18 colours. The sampler is very much about colour, beautiful colours in the sampler. So there we have it. Our birthday release for our 6th birthday is the rose and the giant pear. Let's have one more little look at her. Isn't she pretty? Now, you do have to be careful. On this little run of the border, this little red run, there is one extra stitch on this, and I do talk about that in the booklet and the PDF, so just a little tip to be careful of that. I'd like to thank everybody who has purchased a copy of Sophia Doggett. We've been blown away by the number of people who want to stitch Sophia. She really is a beautiful sampler, and I just felt we had to share this sampler with you. I get a lot of pleasure out of the original samplers in my home, but I get more pleasure out of sharing those samplers with you, and we were thrilled to bring a sampler from the Fella collection to the needlework world. Sorry about that, that's the thing about having my phone here because of the drawer. A few little things. Mary Snow. There's a stitch along, I believe, going on of Mary Snow, and we have really, really struggled to keep up with supplies for Mary Snow. Our printers aren't able to operate quite as quickly as they used to. there's so many people off ill and shortages of material in this country. We've reprinted this booklet so many times. We had a print arrive on, when was it? It was Thursday, and we managed to catch up on our orders, and we've got another print run arriving the first Tuesday in the new year. I'm not quite sure what day that is, but it'll be with us on that Tuesday. So I'm hoping that everybody who wanted to start Mary has managed to get their copy of the booklet. But she is also available as a PDF on our website as well. That's one of the good things about PDFs. You don't have to worry about print runs and supplies. They are just there for you. Today, the stitch along starts for the fabulous, oops, oh gosh, this sample is so heavy. These frames are just fabulous quality frames, and they make the samplers very heavy. So today, there's people all around the world starting stitching Esther Blackwood. This is such a pretty sampler, and I can't wait to see people post their progress on the sampler. When you see, when you start to see this sampler being stitched, you will see the beauty in the sampler come to life. I've got lots to talk about. I've just got to think about my order of how I'm going to do it. I do have one more sampler here, and this is Emily Vealdhoek. And Emily was day 25 of Teresa Vanetti's Advent box, and this is such a Christmassy sampler. So for those of you who were lucky enough to get one of the Advent boxes, this is what you opened on Christmas Day. Beautiful bands on this sampler, really pretty. Now this sampler, though it's not available for general sale at the moment, in 2023 we will make that available for everybody. What else have I got here? My progress on Mrs. Campbell. This sampler is so beautiful. I'm really enjoying working on her. Look at those colours. This sampler is all about colours, but you're going to have a lot of different colours. I haven't added them up, but I posted a photograph in the week of the colours that we used in the border, and there are more colours to be added to that for these lovely bands that run through the centre. How I have been stitching this band, when I chart, I tend to, on a run like this, chart the darkest colour first because it's the most visible. So I've stitched the darkest colour across to make sure that it was correct. What I didn't want to do is sort of get here, having stitched the full vine, and find I was wrong and had a lot of unpicking. So I stitched the vine out first, and I'm working my way back through filling in the colour. And I couldn't go to bed last night until I had stitched the bird. Love that so much. What else? What else? Oh, I had some fabulous surprises in the post, or for Christmas, and this is one I wanted to share with you. This is a present I had from a very dear friend, and it's Kohana, and when you receive this from Kahn, it comes wrapped in fabric, and this is a very sort of Japanese thing. So when you open it up, I wonder if anybody knows what's inside this, if you had one of these as well. When you open it up, there is a box, and then when you open the box, inside is another box, and you just take this off. Right, so when you've taken the wrapping off, you have this box, and this is actually a hoop which you can use, and that is your little storage box, and as you can see it's got this cross-stitched top. There's the inside of the lid, really beautiful quality, and then inside it is filled with all sorts of goodies, which is really lovely. And I haven't opened them, I wanted to sort of explore them with you. So let's have a look and see what we have. Let's put my glasses on. So we have this dinky little pin cushion. We have some snips, and these are, I believe, very, very sharp. You can just feel them in your hand, they're going to be sharp. As a quilter, these will be really handy for tidying up your quilt after you've quilted it. That's lovely. There is a tape measure. Oh, and this fabric, it's like a leather. Yes, it's leather. Just feels really, really fabulous in the hand. And it is a tape measure. And the tape measure is in metric. It's in centimetres, millimetres, metres. But for those of you, oh, you just press it to come back in. Oh, that's good. Look, the 10 centimetres are all marked off differently for ease, ease of eye of seeing the measurement. For those of you who work in inches, what I do, I go, hey Siri, what is 10 centimetres in inches?
10 centimetres is 3.94 inches.
That's how I do my conversion, because I got to admit, I think in inches when I am doing anything craft related. So even though that's in centimetres, you can easily convert. I believe that might be a, let's have a look, what is this? Gosh, it's a lot of wrapping. Oh, I can see now what this is. This is a needle threader. Gosh, there is a lot of wrapping. There we go. Can you see that? That's a needle threader. That's pretty. What's the next thing? Ah, look, we've got some pins. We've got some thread keeps. I think that's going to be a needle case. Ah, yeah, and then you've got these little booklets which tell you what everything is. Oh gosh, that is so, so adorable. So you can use it like this, or you can put the divider in. Oh, that is lovely. I do like that very, very much. And then your hoop just sits on it like that. Oh, that's wonderful. That's really super. I know that these come in blue and pink. I think that the Attic Needleworks has got a blue one, but Hobby House Needleworks have got these in both colours. Really lovely, and the friend who gifted me this was so generous, and she knows how thrilled I am with that. I also received in the post as a Christmas present this wonderful set, and it's made by Stitch Folk, and it's just fabulous. The ladies that gifted me this, I'm just so touched by it. So we have a really lovely large project bag, and look at the lining on that. Isn't that beautiful fabric? I love flowers, so this fabric is a beautiful choice for me. So that's the project bag, and this is the mat, which is lovely. Love it. That's the back. And then there's a little pouch, and I love having pouches. They are so useful, and these are beautifully made by Stitch Folk. Then there is a needle case, and then of course you've got to have a little orts bag, which is there. And then we have inside some wax with my initials on, and this smells so lovely, really, really nice. And I'm going to be using this project bag as my travel one for my visits to the States, which I have everything crossed for will go ahead, though my January one isn't going ahead. I'm hoping to be in the States in March, and hopefully June, August and October as well. That's wonderful. I'm going to be using that on my travels. What else came? Oh, some new linen. And this is a new, I haven't seen this colour before. It's by Mill on the Floss, and this is Bow Truckle. Now I've never heard of that name before, so I googled Bow Truckle, and it's from Harry Potter. Look at this fabric. Isn't that a fabulous colour? So that's Bow Truckle, B-O-W-T-R-U-C-K-L-E, from Mill on the Floss Samplers, their Tabby Cat range of linen. And I've also had some more wood smoke. I'm stitching Miss Campbell on wood smoke, and I really love the colour, so I've asked Michelle to send me some more. It's really, really lovely. It's a lovely sort of moody type of fabric. Anything else? Oh, I can now officially use my hand and lock cases, and today I plan to put all my little needlework tools in these cases. I have seen a couple of people post on social media that they received these as well. I think everybody would have just loved them. They are just so fabulous. Hobby House Needlework, I believe, sold out of the ones they had, but they have already got more on the way to them. These cases are just, they're wonderful, and I can't wait to get all my little bits and bobs in these. And the amazing thing is that these are actually vegan leather, and when you feel them, you just wouldn't think that they weren't leather. Really lovely, but the red's my favourite. That shade of red is just fabulous. I wish they did the big case in red. That would be a no-brainer for me. These cases, although they are for needlework tools, they would make great jewellery cases as well. Really beautifully made. So thrilled that I managed to get those for Christmas, and I'm very, very thrilled with the scissors I got for Christmas as well. I had to, although I showed them in the Flosstube, I had to put them away for Christmas because they were actually a Christmas present. Okay, so I think that is a roundup of everything today. If I've forgotten something, I'll have to mention it in my Flosstube next week. So everybody, I hope you enjoy this lovely sort of period between Christmas and New Year. It's always a quiet period for us, and I'm going to be doing a lot of stitching in the next week. I hope that everybody will enjoy the rose and the giant pear, and don't forget your finishes between now and the 23rd of December 2022. Make sure you enter them and send your finishes to hats.competitions@gmail.com so that you have the opportunity to win Phoebe and Lily's sampler in the next draw. That's it for this year. The next time I speak to you, it will be 2023. So I really, really hope that we get a healthy new year for 2022. Bye.